Good evening, traders and developers. Welcome to another session of Algo Trading Live. I'm Stanton. Tonight I'm not using my video because we are running a Linux virtual machine and it takes up a lot of processing, and what happens is my video sort of jumps around and blocks out and there's a delay. So tonight we're not going to be using video, but what we're going to be doing tonight is something very, very exciting. We are going to be creating our NFT using the Solana, the SPL token command line interface. Then once we do that, we are going to upload an image for that token, and then what we're going to do after that, we'll create a collection, and then I'll show you how to list that onto Solana SolSea. Okay, so why do it like this? I mean, there's plenty of sites where you could create your collections, you could go on, but you know, when you go to something like OpenSea, let's just go into that quickly. OpenSea, when you create your collection, you're essentially creating it on their website. You know, you're not physically owning it for a short while. You create it on the website, it sells it, and the Solana or the money, whatever it is, whatever wallet you're using, gets transferred to you. Now, for me, I like to have my own tokens. You know, I don't want to just list it for sale. Like, for instance, if you look at my wallet here, you can see I've got some, this is my live wallet. I've got some ZAR coin. This is the coin that I created for South Africa. I've got my Algo coin. I'm still finding utilities for these, but you know, it will come what I'm going to use these for, but I have my own tokens. And then if you go to my collectibles, you can see I've got an NFT. That's mine. You know, I've created it, I've got a logo, I've put it up onto, it's live on Solana. If you go to SolScan, you can see the NFT, and you know, it could stay in my wallet until I decide what I want to do with it. You can see there's an and that's my NFT. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to first go through the Solana token program, about how we, how we create the NFT, how we mint it, and then from then on, then we're going to show you how to add an image, add your metadata for the token, and then after that we'll try and create a collection. I haven't done that before. I've seen there is like something on Metaplex where you can actually add it to a collection. There is ways to do it in the code, but it's probably just easier to do it through Metaplex, and then we'll try and list it on OpenSea and see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to list it, but I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing, if you're a Windows user, it's very important that you install WSL. Now, WSL is a sort of a Linux VM for Windows machines. So what you'll do is you'll go to Marketplace. You just say, Microsoft Store, and then you'll search WSL. You get the latest version of Ubuntu and install it. There's plenty of YouTube videos on it. I'm not going to get into that. Very simple to set up. And then once you've installed it, you can then connect your VS Code to it. So I like working in VS Code. I use this as the terminal. I don't, we don't need to use the command prompt. I just use this as my terminal to access the Linux VM. So what you would do is you'd say edit, a command palette, and then you'll just say new WSL window. Okay, and that will create your, and you can see there it's opening the remote, it's connected to Ubuntu, and then if you run your terminal, go into your terminal, view, where's terminal? Terminal, then it logs you into Linux, and then you build all of your your smart contracts, you build everything on the Linux environment. You don't do anything in the Windows environment, and you run it straight from there. So for instance, I've already installed Solana, so I could go like Solana.balance, and there's my Sol balance, and I'm running it on live, but we'll get back into that. Okay, so the first step is to get the CLI installed. So if you go to this splsolana.com/token, or you could just Google SPL token program, you'll come to this screen. So let's just go from the top. So the first thing you need to do is install the CLI. So there's installation instructions. You first install Rust. I'm not going to go through the full installation. Say cargo install SPL token. Then you need to do some configurations. So if I run this configuration, you see me. Wait a second, I've got a lot of windows open here. Let me just go to my main code. You can see my configuration. So that's your configuration file. You can see I'm running it on mainnet, so I'm not running it in dev. I'm running it straight on live. If you want to run it in dev, you could change your URL. We'll show you how to do that there. Your WebSocket URL, and then also there's the path to my, call it wallet, my key pair, which is essentially your wallet. And the commit is confirmed. Okay, so that is the CLI. So once you've installed it, then the next step is you'll need to choose which cluster you're running on. So if you want to run it on DevNet, so if you want to just play around before you actually commit these things live, you can, but I just do it live. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. And then you would set up your wallet, and this line here is to set up your wallet. So you could make it in any directory you want. If you can see mine, I've created a wallet in yeah, you can see I just created a folder called Stan's main wallet and my key pair, and that's very important to know where that is stored, your key pair, because you're going to use it in the next part of the tutorial. So I'm not going to rerun this because I've already set up my main wallet, and also I've connected my main wallet or my file wallet to Phantom. So this is my live Solana wallet, so that's why I don't want to run this again, but you would run that, and then it will show you where, and it will tell you what your public key is, and then from there you could link it to your Phantom wallet. But there's lots of tutorials on how to do that as well. Okay, we're not going to be using a hardware wallet. And then if you're running on DevNet, you could give yourself some Solana. You could airdrop one Solana to your account. And then we get into creating your own token. So we're going to skip this part, because right now we only going to create a NFT. So let's move all the way down. Yeah, creating a non-fungible token. So the only difference on SPL between creating a normal token, SPL fungible token, or non-fungible token is that a non-fungible token has the decimal as 0 decimals. So let's get to it. We're going to actually start, and we're going to create our token. I'm going to go into I'm going to run the command line, SPL token, create token, -- decimals equals 0. And then we already got our token address. And we just need to remember that for later. Okay, so there we've created our token. Now each token needs an account. So the next step is now to create an account for that token. So you'll copy that line. And you could see when you run, copy that, and then what you need to do is you paste here the token that has been created for you, the token address. So you're creating an account for that token. Okay. So now we have created an account for the token. Now remember, this is actually costing money. If you're doing this live, each transaction costs, I don't know, it's about $0.03 or something like that. So just make sure if you are doing this live that your wallet, your main wallet, has Sol in it. Okay, so we've created an account now. And then we're going to mint. And we're only going to mint one. Okay, so I'm just only going to mint one. Now you see here, this is the wallet's public key. I'm not going to do that because I've already configured a global public key. And I use that every time any transaction is done, it attaches it to the global public key. So we're going to delete that part. And then we're going to paste in our we're going to paste in our new token address, and we're going to mint one. Now, we're only always going to mint one. Okay, so we have minted our token, and there we go. And that is it. We have created an NFT. Complete. Now, very, very, very important step. This disable future minting. Do not disable future minting until you have updated and set the metadata for this NFT. Because if you run this command now and disable minting, it also disables any authorities, and that means you cannot update it anymore. So you only run this step once you are happy that your token is 100% correct. You could always change the metadata, that's fine, but you can't change any of the on-chain data. And I'll explain the difference between your metadata and your on-chain data once we get into the code. Okay, so we have now created our NFT. That's done. So what we're going to do now, we need to name our NFT and we need to give it a logo. So I would like to thank SolAndy for this code. You can view the video. The video is in the description of the meaning behind everything of this code. I'm not going to go into all of it. And he writes this from scratch and he installs all the dependencies, everything you need to run this code. So essentially you need Node installed, you need Typescript, you need Node Typescript in order to run the script, or TS Node in order to run the script. And you need to install this Metaplex metadata, and so you just Google that, how to install that, and it's also on Andy's video. You install web3.js, and then this anchor is just to extract your public key from your key pair file. So don't worry about this function. It's just a bootstrap function to actually just get your public key. Okay, so this is our main function. Now we're doing TypeScript here, so this is our main function. So there's just a log here to say we're going to start naming some tokens and give it an image. So this initialize true. Let me just explain this to you. The first time you run this on a token, you'll set this to true. If you want to run an update on a particular token, you'll set this to false. Okay, so your key pair. Now remember when we talked about where your key pair is stored. So wherever your file is. So if you go back to I think the default, it will store it in, let's just go back, creates an id.json or something like that. Well, you define where you want it. Then you would put whatever path you put in when you created your key pair, you'll put that path into this, to this section here. As you can see here, mine's home. Let me just see if I've got my chat popped out. Mine is home stance, and this is where I keep my stance main wallet and my key pair. Okay. This here, this mint is the address of your token. So you could see when we go to, when it creates a token, we got this token address. You would put that into here. So we're going to run it on our newly created token. Don't worry about this. If you could read more about creating a PDA, all it does is just assigns an owner, authority, and a program ID to the transaction. So don't worry too much about that. This is something I added that was not in Andy's video. This is the creator list. So basically this is a creator object that's part of the Metaplex standard that tells, that's stored on chain, that tells the, or that is part of the NFT metadata, says who created this and what is their share. So if you've got multiple people who worked on an NFT project and they all have a 20% share, you might have 5 people, you could have something like this. So it's an array, so that there will be 50 and 50. So you'll share and then you would put that person's public key in there. So they will know if you sell the NFT, who gets the money essentially, and what percentage of the money gets shared. Okay, so for me, it's just me. I'm working on this alone, so that's my public key. My share is 100%, and I am verified. Again, this is just your count data. Don't worry too much about this. Just tells you who the mint authority, who's going to be paying for this transaction, and who is allowed to update it in the future. And then you've got your PDA data. Okay, now this part is quite important. This is the data, the on-chain data that is going to be stored on Solana. So now this is, I'm going to call this one the blue algae. I'll explain my, and it's BALGI because I've already got a green algae. This one's the blue algae. And now when you have, we're going to go quite deep into the metadata now. So every token on Solana needs a metadata JSON file. It's where it pulls a lot of the, call it off-chain details from. Details that you could change after the NFT has been created and the authority has been, the access has been shut off. So you could go in, you could update that. So what we need to do now is we need to create a JSON file with this metadata in. So let's do that. So I'm going to just go into a new folder. Let's just see my crypto. I've got my crypto folder. And then I've got a file here called blue algae. And you can see this is the logo. Another very important thing is that when you, I think this is true, I'm not 100% sure, but your logo should be called logo. Because I tried to upload it, I kept some of them in a new folder, in the same folder, and I named the logos differently, and the logos didn't appear on the SolScan, and they never did, even after I changed them. So I think it should be called logo.png. I could be mistaken, but... And then we need a JSON file. So I'm just going to copy that. This is my green algae, and we're going to go back into the blue algae folder. And we're going to paste just a JSON. What you can do if you want, you could just say new folder, new file, a text document, and just call it metadata.json. Then we're going to edit this with Notepad. Okay, so, and then these are your values that need to be got. So we're going to call this one the blue algae. And the symbol is BALGI, and this is the blue algae for algo trading. And now we need a logo, and also a logo needs to be shared. A lot of people used Airweave, whatever. A logo needs to be it needs to be hosted somewhere. So we're going to host on GitHub. I find that works very nicely and it's quite easy to do. So we're going to go into GitHub. If you guys haven't worked with GitHub, it's very, very simple. You just register. You'll come to this landing page. You'll go to repository. You create a new repository. And we're going to call it blue algae. That's a public. I mean, you could make it private. If you don't want people editing, I suppose it's probably better to be private if you don't want people editing your metadata file, but you can see who pulls and who commits, and so you could always just undo commits. It's not a problem. Then you just ban that user, or you'll just report that user for. But I just keep it public, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, as you can see, there's no files in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to upload a file. We're going to go to our blue algae folder. We're going to just drag that there. Uploaded the logo. Just say commit changes. The logo is added. You click on the logo, click download, and then you get the public address of that logo. Please don't use this address because it won't work. It won't find the image. Click download and copy, and then we're going to paste that into our meta.json file. That is the logo URL. Okay, so we've done the logo. Now I just want to discuss some other attributes, because NFTs are more complex than just adding an image and a logo. So if you go to, you could see some of the attributes, and so you got your animation URL, you got your logo, you got an external URL pointing to your website, explaining what the NFT does. You got your traits. You could have, I don't know, traits, happy, sad, whatever, what the values are. So if you've got some sort of NFT cards, whatever, then you've got extra properties, so you could have extra files. What category? These have now been deprecated. These have now moved on-chain, which I explained to you earlier, the creator and the collection. And the collection we're not going to do in here. The collection we're actually going to go to another, we're going to do a collection another way. So don't worry about these two, but I mean, these are the extra properties that you could add in your metadata. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to add an image and all of that. Okay, so we have saved we've saved our logo into GitHub. Now what we're going to do, we're going to upload our JSON file, because your JSON file also needs to be hosted somewhere. So we're going to go back to the root. We're going to say add file. We're going to upload the file. We could just drag it in. I think your metadata can be named whatever it is. I just call mine token metadata. Commit your changes. Let's just see if everything's right. So it's the blue algae, BALGI, blue algae for algo trading. We've got the image right. And then what to do to view the public version of this file, you click raw. And then you copy this URL. Okay, so let's jump back to the code. Now we're going to put that URL that we just copied in. Okay, then you've got your seller's fee basis points. So 500, it means they get 5%. Now let's give the seller 10%. And so this is your data. And then remember I said that it's been deprecated, the creators and the collection. Now the creators, we assign our creator list to that property. And I think that is it. And then basically then what you do, you if the first time you run it, you say create metadata args, and then you run the function on the Metaplex, token metadata. It's called create metadata account. That's the transaction. And then if you're running it for the next time, you'll run a create update metadata account v2 instruction. Then you need to create a Web3 transaction, which is just basically a Solana transaction. and you add your transaction to that transaction. And then you choose which connection you're using. I'm going to use the mainnet, and then you wait. You send and confirm the transaction, and you get the transaction ID back. And that's it. That's how we're going to give our token a name and a logo. All right, so let's run. Got the command to run. I think it's TS. I'll find it. See, I've been doing a lot of blockchain development. There we go. So you run ts node main.ts, which is the file name, the main file name, and that will run that main file. All right, so we're going to run it, and let's name some tokens. Let me just see, we're running it for the first time, so that must be set to true. Let's name some tokens. Oh, error. What have I done wrong? Account address already in use. Let's have a look. Oh, I need to save it. It's always good to save your file before running it. And it's taken a little bit of time. We haven't got an error back yet, so it means it's running. Let's wait for it to run. There we go. That's our transaction ID. And we have created our NFT. So now what we can do, because we finished with GitHub, I've linked my Phantom wallet to my main account. We could go in to our Phantom wallet. We could go to collections. And we should see our algies. And there it is. And there are our NFTs. Okay, so that is it. Now we can actually view them on SolScan to see if they're created correctly. I know the algae was created. Let's see, blue algae, was he created correctly? And you just right click here, say view on SolScan. And it should show the image. It's got the creator, who created it, the royalties, 10%. Okay, so we have now created a NFT, and it's live. It's live on Sol. I don't understand why it has a Sol balance. Maybe someone could explain that to me, why that asset or this token has a Sol balance, but maybe someone could put in the comments about that, why that is. But we will see. Okay, so the next step now is let's create a collection. I haven't done this yet. This is going to be purely an experiment. So let's see what happens. Certify collections. There we go. And then there's a website that's part of Metaplex to create your collection. There we go. So you click on this website and you connect your Phantom wallet. I've already connected my Phantom wallet to it. So we say new collection. The name, we call it the algae collection. Just say ALG I see. The logo. Let's choose a logo. So we're just going to choose our algo trading logo. Description. The algae. Let's just put this in capitals. Algae collection for algo trading. Okay, now we could do this first Verfiy creator, or we could say add individual NFTs, or we could say first Verfiy creator. And I think what that might do, so you copy creator's address in, click add, and it should add both of my algaes. Yeah, it's created both of my algaes. I'm verified. It's going to cost me 31 cents. Do I have enough money? Yes, I've got 17 Sol in my live account. Due to high selectivity. So let's see what this does. This is a pure, I haven't done this before. Let's see. And approve the transaction. Move that. I don't know how long this is going to take. Okay, I don't know what that is. Adding an approved collection authority. Okay. This is purely, I haven't done this before, so I don't actually know what it is doing. But I think it's just creating a collection. Approve. The home page. Okay. Yeah, so we've got a collection. Expand it. Oh, and you still can add to it. Alright. Oh, what did I just click? Oh, that's a small button to do. Oh, I don't revoke collection authority. Why would they have such a small button? I still want to own it. Okay, so let's have a look at our wallet. See what it has done. We've got an algae collection here. And there are my two algae still. Let's just added the collection to my wallet. Cool. So we've got a collection of algae. Next step is now, which I don't know if I'm going to do, but we can now list these for sale. So we're going to just close all of these windows. We've done with that. Done checking. Let's actually see what it's changed on SolScan, if it shows that it's part of a collection. It doesn't show that it's part of a collection on the... I still hold it. Okay, that's good. I don't want to give it to any marketplace yet. And there's your metadata. It doesn't say it's part of any collection on this thing. Let's actually look at Sol Explorer. Just want to copy. Oh, there's my ZAR coin. Who is my authority? Let's just go to data distribution. Just want to find my main wallet. Count tokens. So I'm holding the algae collection plus the 2 individual algaes. Okay. So let's just click on one of those. A verified collection. That's pretty cool. That's verified. And then the creators, this doesn't work for some reason on Solana Explorer. Cool. So we've got a verified collection. Now, if we want to list it for sale, we're going to go to OpenSea.io. Let's see, is my wallet connected? So you just register on OpenSea. Oh, sorry, not OpenSea. SolSea. I don't want to list on OpenSea. I want to list on SolSea because it's so much easier. We can log in. Okay, I'm already logged in. So you just create your profile. To see if my profile, what it looks like. It's got my logo. And whatever else. I'm going to collect my wallet. Okay, and then from here, see it's only showing one NFT linked. I wonder if this one's not in the collection. Maybe it needs to be refreshed. It's only showing one NFT. Let's do just a Control F5 maybe. Maybe I'll disconnect my wallet and reconnect. Still only showing the one. Control F5. Wonder why it's taking time. I think maybe it needs to propagate or something. Okay, but anyway. Not showing the rest of my... Let me reload. There we go. It'll say not in collection. I'm not sure why. So now, if you want to list one of your NFTs, okay, thank you. If you want to collect one of your NFTs, so either you connect the individual, or you could add the whole collection. So what you do, you say list, and how much money do you want for it in Sol? And that is it, and you'll click list. I'm not going to go through this process because I want to keep my NFTs for now. And that is it. You guys can carry on the rest and see how this listing process goes, and let me know if you have any success with it. Alright guys, well, thank you very much. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you've got any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. Let me know how it goes. Please check out SolAndy's video. It's very, very good. Props to him for writing that initial code, which he got from somebody else as well. But no, you guys are happy to fork and contribute. Maybe we could build a nice sort of NFT program for Solana, building an NFT. We could build onto that already existing code. Let me know if you're keen. And please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications. Like I said, I'm on every day, 9 to 10 every day, South African time. And not only do we do algo trading development, live trading, technical analysis, we do blockchain development, you name it, we do it. So have a good evening. Cheers.